Hey everyone, welcome to Founders 365 with me, Steven Haggerty. Today I'm joined by the founder and director of The Good Egg, Natalia. See, I was going to go for the surname then, but I'm not even going to attempt it. So I'll let you say your surname because it's a lovely surname and I don't want to balls it up.
Yeah, so it's Natalia Cortazar, but anything goes really.
I mean, I can only imagine how many people have butchered that surname over the years. Just a few, just one or two. But Nat, welcome to the show. I'm so thrilled you're here, and thank you for your time. So let's jump straight into this, like we do with every episode, and just start with an overview of what the Good Egg is, and what you guys do, and who you serve.
Cool. So I would try to keep it short and sweet. So The Good Egg, or TGE as I normally type it because it's way long, shorter. We are a female founded and led influencer marketing agency, and that's it. We, at least not now, don't do anything that is not influencer marketing related, and we were born as a response to everything that was going on this year, as well, everything that is actually going on this year. Because myself and the girls that work with me, we've all worked in different clients and agencies over the years, and we, there's some fantastic agencies out there, fantastic, but we were saying that the human touch was being lost so much, and techs are amazing and platforms and all that kind of stuff, but we were missing that human stuff and that, sorry for these, but no bullshit approach, all these massive proposals and gurus.
Yeah, meetings for the sake of meetings, for the sake of meetings.
100 meetings, 100 calls, 100 proposals, documents, and I was like, mate, this is bullshit. COVID make it the perfect environment for us to be right, there's no face-to-face meeting, there's not going to be stupid coffee, breakfast and lunches and things. Let's do what we do best, influencer marketing campaigns, and that's it. All the rest is going out of the window. And that's why The Good Egg was born. So far, clients, I think, are enjoying that kind of not having
refreshing. It's funny though, because I've had a few agency owners on here now, and every single person who has gone to set up an agency has said the exact same thing you did, where they were working in these larger agencies and they were getting tired of the people bullshitting around, like you said, and just over promising and under delivering, right?
It's just that.
But my question is, with so many amazing people like yourselves going off and setting up your own agencies, why do you think that the larger agencies aren't changing anything, or someone isn't coming up through the ranks and going, actually, we need to start looking at this in a different way, because they're losing their best talent like yourselves, for you to go, actually, I'm going to set this up on my own, because obviously if I set it up on my own, I can have my own values and my own identity, which is obviously a fantastic thing to do. But I'm always curious about what is this theme coming around and why are people doing it?
I'm very unapologetic. Oh my god, that's a mouthful.
Big word for a Thursday morning.
I'm just going to be really honest with you. I think it's because both big and large agencies and big clients get benefits from working together. I think when you open the Pandora box and show clients that they don't need so much bullshit and they can do the same or better or way more for half the money, half the time, and have the resources and the meetings and everything, I think some people feel a bit stupid for all the money they've spent in the past, all the time, all the processes that they've gone through. And that is not beneficial, because everyone is big people, big fish and big sharks of, companies, and have interest in working with all the big companies just because it's that kind of big fish environment.
It's like this weird ego-led decision making.
It's we are in every publication and we are everywhere and we looked after by XYZ big agency. So I think it's like an ego boost for everyone. And also they kind of want to keep themselves in that very high seniority level. Whereas for me, I don't care about any of that. Literally, I just can care less. So I think that's why big agencies still exist, because big clients need that, and not all of those big clients would be happy with our approach. And I'm happy with that as well, because I know that some people need all that kind of additional things that come with advertising around them to feel that they're actually getting a good service. But in reality, those things are just extras. They don't affect the quality of the campaign. So I think that's the reason why there are still those things happening. And they will happen. Like, it's gonna, it's life, and I'm very, very okay with it.
So when you decided to go, you know what, now is the time for me to set up the Good Egg and start carving out my own path and I'm guessing do a lot of the things that perhaps you were restricted with before, and obviously, like you said, maybe have to get approval and things like this.
Yeah.
How did it feel then? How did it feel when you took that leap? I can already see, for those that are listening, it's just like a weight lifted from your shoulders when I asked that question. So that's how I imagine how it felt.
Yeah. For me, the first thing, and this is going to sound a bit like childish, but it was speaking my own words. Like, if I felt putting like a smiley face in an email, I was going to do it and just go with it, just because I'm that kind of person. I'm very cheerful, I'm very chatty, very passionate. And I remember, oh God, I'm not going to name his name at all, but I used to have a manager back in the day that she was that kind of micromanagement person, and she was kind of cutting off my personality in absolutely every email. And I was like, hey, I know how to do my job, and clients love me and influencers love me, and I have really good relationships in the industry, thankfully. But
making you right, I just want to touch base.
Yeah.
So no.
It's just like, no, like, we need to give each other's best, like, each other's personality untouched, I think. So that was for me the best thing about setting up my own agency, not having to be corporate at all. If I wanted to post something on social about us, posted. Well, obviously those things that are obvious, like you dress however you want, you have as many tattoos as you want, as many piercings, as many like hairstyles, like all of that, obviously, but that's taken for granted. But I think keeping my personality, my team's personality is crucial. I would never tell anyone in my team to speak different. I mean, obviously, everyone being polite and all that kind of stuff, like, granted. But I think keeping everyone's personality is crucial, because we can't forget that we're humans, and of course we represent an agency, but it's all about humans here, especially when we work with influencers, which is what we do. You're speaking to a human. You're not speaking to, like a banner on a website. So I think keeping humanity in our side and our personalities was like the biggest change for me, and what I really love, and what I would find really hard to get if I had to.
Yeah. I mean, you summed it up perfectly in the first sentence, being able to put a smiley face in an email without worrying about it. But I also feel like that small things like that are now being sort of so refreshed on the other side, because there seems to be this wave of people and founders that are setting up consultancies, setting up agencies, setting up businesses that have this new culture within them. And then obviously from the consumer's point of view, the client's point of view, that in itself is going to be super refreshing. So if they ever do go back to the dark side of the large agencies, let's put it that way, they're probably going to immediately not want to have that sort of very like you said, very formatted, very right to do email, which if I ever get an email like that, I'm just like, bore off. It's I want to see the personality, I want to get to know someone, because like you said, it is all about the human to human connection, which is great. I'm curious to know, obviously when you started the Good Egg and you had these values that you wanted to implement, how have you made sure for you as a leader that you are implementing them, and the team that you're building is on that sort of same wavelength as you? Has that been a struggle to move into that role, or did you do it quite seamlessly?
I don't think so. I'm lucky enough to be working like my I always call her my right hand, leg, and eye. Who we worked together before in different agencies, so we kind of know each other and we know how we work. So it started with both of us, and the people that I've been bringing on. We're not that many people, and we're a lot of like on and off people as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everyone understood my personality, so they kind of knew what they were signing up for. And they have complete freedom to do what they want to do, because I think trusting them is the most important thing. And when you trust people is when they really perform, and when they really go like, I'm going to do the best and I'm going to, be on top of it. So not really. That's probably one of the easiest parts of my job, funnily enough. I know that many other people would say, oh, I'm scared, the good egg may lose its, its kind of personality. I don't think so, because that's why it's called the good egg, because I tried to collate a good bunch of good eggs. So not really.
And everyone has a good egg within them,
Yeah.
I'm really keen to talk about the market as a whole. From an outsider's who, I don't own a marketing agency, but I've obviously experienced a lot of them. The word influencer marketing, I mean, it's not a bad word. It's a great word. But what I feel like what has happened to it is that it's been stretched, right? It's been put on a lot of things and kind of this maybe grayed out its meaning. So for you, what is influencer marketing in its core, like the core of influencer marketing?
I teach influencer marketing for like a few courses and stuff, and I'm not gonna give you like the academical answer, but for me, and I was having not an argument, like a conversation with someone on LinkedIn the other day about this, because someone told me there's no such thing as influencer marketing, and I was like, hold on a minute.
Interesting.
So, I mean, to be honest, I would say in a nutshell, influencer marketing sits within digital marketing as SEO, paid social, community management, and so on sit. Like we are another kind of leg or branch that can work with all of those strategies, or however you want to call it, within digital marketing. However, we are also very tied to PR. We're also very tied to events. We're also very tied to talent management, obviously. But we're kind of like a cluster everything. But we are not just product placement. And that's something that I really, really, really want to highlight, because when people come to me and want, especially these very kind of old-fashioned marketers that are always, I'm sorry about these, middle-aged men that, are always, saying that they know everything, etc. Sure. Comes to us very young female founders to try to educate us on what we do. It's very annoying.
You must just think to them like, oh, good luck with this.
Oh my God. So I'm like, look, one thing is product placement, and in the past we've seen product placement, and we do nowadays. We do product placement.
It's everywhere.
On TV, everywhere. There's people and there are companies that they do product placement with influencer marketing, which is just like, okay, here's my product, here is my X-ray vitamin, and that's product placement. That is part of influencer marketing, but it's not everything. When we see talent, digital, I always quote Dominic from Gleam, Gleam's founder. Gleam features the biggest talent agencies in the UK and abroad. He always says digital talent first, and I love that. And I think when we work with digital talent, we can do so many things, like way more than just doing product placement. So yeah, influencer marketing is a lot of things. It's not just showing something on social. It's teaming up with a creator to create something, to produce content for a brand. Some influencers create content that is not placed on their own social media channels. It's just created for the brands instead of just hiring a photographer, let's say. Some others, give a face and a voice to a charity project. There's so many things that you can do, because what you're leveraging is their influence, not just their space. So that influencer marketing is a lot of things. So it's not just influencer product placement, and that's something that I really do hope people start to understand, because
and
it's not.
And that's just education, right? It's just education, educating consumers, educating clients, and I assume that you probably get a lot of requests where people want one thing and they don't have that education, and then a lot of your job may be educating in itself. What about the dark side of it? What about the dark side of influencer marketing? Because, like you said, product placements are everywhere now. Influencers seem to be everywhere, at least. You know, you seem to, every man and their dog can become an influencer of some sort. So what's the negatives of this? What's the negatives of this in terms of your job, and how within sort of the good egg you're making sure that you stay on the right side of that?
I think that we need to understand that we are dealing with a very, very brand new industry. So there's always going to be a lot of backlash going on. And one thing that I always say in my classes is that social media has democratized everything, really. You know, back in the day, you could only be an influencer or someone relevant if you were famous, or if you were a personality. But now everyone can say everything and anything. It's
like the days where 100,000 subscribers on YouTube was a huge deal.
Exactly. So it's just anyone can be an influencer. So of course, because of that that democratized situation in which like anyone can say anything, there's a lot of backlash. There's a lot of people not doing the right thing, and obviously those are the ones that people see the most. So when someone, you know, just going to put these examples, like when all of these Love Island talent, not all of them, bless them, some of these Love Island talent or reality stars, etc., do a campaign for like sliming tea thingy, whatever. We know that those brands are, you know, what they are. We know that those are the talents that are going to be promoting those things. And when someone comes to me and say influencer marketing is shit because, you know, they don't try the products and they promote this and that, I say you can't really blame an industry as a whole just because some people are doing X, Y, Z.
Yeah, some people just chasing that quick cash.
Yeah, imagine that Netflix launched a very dreadful series and you were saying Netflix is dead. That would be ridiculous.
Great example.
Yeah, that would be absolutely ridiculous because, you know, the BBC does amazing series, let's say, and they launch a very bad one. You wouldn't say, I'm not watching the BBC again. The BBC is just horrendous and they do bad stuff. No, it's just some people working the BBC or working on Netflix have done a bad series, but that doesn't make the whole channel or the whole platform.
And that's the same with just the same with life. You know, if you make a bad jam sandwich, does that mean you're never going to make a jam sandwich again?
Exactly.
No. But I think because when we speak about influencer marketing, I think lots of people, like you said, immediately go towards that kind of thing, which just isn't. And I've seen it as well, where people jump on that bandwagon, but because people are jumping at it and sort of giving them that negative press, it's almost making that influencer marketing work even more because of the negative press, which is odd. Do you think there needs to be more, I guess, more standardization or more sort of ethical guidelines, because it seems to be quite a free-for-all part of the industry?
I think, and this is something that really, really kind of pushed me to create a good egg, was that I was sometimes feeling responsible for influencing young generations. This happened to me when we were pitching to do a campaign with one of these very well-known vaping brands, right? And when we were, you know, working on the proposal in another agency years ago, I realized I have like an enlightening moment of like, fuck me, like, do I really want to do these? Like, do I want to be part of an industry that is promoting this kind of stuff, educating younger generations to do X, Y, Z, or, you know, promoting some kind of body shapes, or promoting, you know, drinking or X, Y, Z.
On a moral basis.
On a moral basis. So that's probably something I really struggle with. And I think our regulations should go towards that instead of just saying all the time, #ad or fade. That's fantastic. And I really value the work the the CAP and the ASA have done, which are like the regulation agencies. But I think we're focusing so much on disclaiming what's been paid and wasn't, as in like, you need to tell that you've been paid for this, instead of worrying about the products that can be promoted and who can be kind of impacted by them. It's true that you can't really, kind of advertise alcoholic things to a target below 25, and there's a lot of regulation around that. But I think we should go into more like a deeper level of ethical and moral kind of regulations, and that's something that I hope it gets better in the future, because I'm not worried about someone posting something without putting hashtag ad. It doesn't really affect me that much. And you need to do it, but that's not the end of the world. But
is that, like you said, it's that moral side of it, I think.
The moral side, I think there's something that both influencers, agencies, and clients should work together to be a bit more ethical, I guess.
I completely agree, and I mean, this is why people like you starting the Good Egg agency. It's kind of one of those dominoes in this change that a lot of people in the agency and the marketing world that is trying to work towards, which is fantastic. For you moving forward, how do you want to grow the Good Egg? I kind of want to make a chicken joke, how do you want to turn it into a chicken type thing? But that's just awful. So, and I don't do any editing, so that's left in now anyway. But hey ho. But how do you want to grow it? What's your plan of sort of action to make the Good Egg agency even bigger and even more powerful?
I don't know if I want to be that big or that powerful, if I'm really honest.
More influential, maybe, then I should say.
Yeah, I think that if I was, and we were chatting about this podcast, I saw some of the questions that you normally ask as well, and one was like, who inspires you, and who you look up to, and I'm like, God, I don't really look up to anyone. This sounds horrendous, okay? I mean, professional-wise, I think I want to be X agency.
Yeah.
Not really. I think the Good Egg was born to cover that part of the market that is more, it's smaller, it's a bit more direct, it's human, and if growing meant giving up that human touch or just using a tech or a platform to manage our collaborations, as many good agencies do, I think we will lose the actual our own identity.
You've got to have that balance, don't you? You've got to have that balance of business success and natural growth and organic growth and that kind of thing, without falling into the trap of becoming what I guess actually what a lot of these big agencies started off as. They didn't start off big. They've just fallen into that. Yeah,
exactly. Everyone would like to be successful, but my goal is not to be on Forbes 30. Well, I wouldn't be there because I'm going to be 30 in a year. But anyway, you know what I mean? My goal is not to be the most successful businesswoman. My goal is to do my job properly. And that's why, and this is something that I wanted to mention as well, that's why we white label as well our services. And that's something that all the founders look at me and say, you're mad. Because, everyone wants to keep their babies this is my baby and my ego, and I want to grow super fast and super big. And for us at the Good Egg, we don't care about that. We want to provide a good service, keep the client happy, and be paid for it, and be known for that.
Yeah.
The rest, I don't care. I don't care if you hire us to be part of your team because you're servicing a bigger client and you want them to think that you have a bigger team. Cool, mate. That's cool with me. As long as they're happy, you're happy, I'm happy. Yeah. We all get paid, we all pay bills and have a house, and that's fine. So for me, that's success. Being mentally happy, being physically happy, and having this kind of steady workflow of clients, both agencies and companies that like what we do, and above everything, keep our identity. I would never, if tomorrow I get VC fund saying, hey, we want to invest X amount of money on the agency, but we want to do X, Y, Z, I would be
nope.
Yep, nope, flattered as F, but that's it. Like, I'm not doing it. So that's
Yeah.
acceptable for me, I guess.
And that in itself, again, I think it is really refreshing, because so many people you see not chase, but I guess naturally occurs, or they attract it, that, you know, like you said, the Forbes under 30 list, and the best business agency award winner list thing, or whatever it is, that actually they've probably paid for anyway, let's face it. And it's like, well, I won, yeah, but you had to buy a table with 10 people in, and it wasn't great. But it's refreshing that you're obviously someone and a founder that really has tied in this business with your moral compass, with that moral compass of providing a great service, you know, not taking the piss, and really making sure that the work you do is ticking those boxes to make sure that, again, even if you are white labeling, the work that you're doing is still going to have an influence on the industry, moving it towards like that bigger ethical, moral code that should be created. I completely agree. You as a founder, then, probably one of my last questions, but you as a founder, how do you make sure that you're on it? How do you make sure that you're showing up for the business every day? What do you do sort of outside of business to make sure that you're being able to be in the business?
Oh my God, I'm such an anxious person. I'm an anxious ball. So I'm very fidgety and I speak really fast, as you can probably tell. So everything I do outside the work sphere is try to kill that energy. And, you know, I train a lot. I do a lot of yoga. I
eat a lot of Manny Life peanut butter, you were telling me.
100%. I do that a lot. I'm hard, like a lot.
I'll send this to Stu.
Oh, definitely. Like, yeah, definitely. I'm client number one. So yeah, I know it sounds a bit like, oh yeah, the typical thing, but it's actually true that I do that. And also, my whole team, including myself, we have flexible working hours and days. So, and I want to keep that regardless of our size. So you may see us working on a Friday evening until 10 p.m. just because we don't have a plan that day and we just crack on stuff. Or maybe Monday morning is very sunny or whatever. I was like, you know what? It's a morning to be out. So we may not work until 12. I don't know. So I think keeping that flexibility is what keeps me on track, and knowing that if one day I feel like going to the gym at 10 a.m. because I just feel like it, I'm going to go, and I'm not going to feel guilty for it, because I know that if things have to be done at 7 p.m., I'm going to be online anyway. And at first, when I started, I overworked so many hours, and that leads to burnout. So now I know that I would much rather take less money as you know, as a founder, have a bigger team. We're not big, but like, you know, have more people on board, and you know, everyone can take the piece of cake, so all the weight is not on my shoulders. So I think that sums it all out. It's flexibility, really. That's one
it.
Of my,
I think one of the hidden gems or hidden benefits of flexibility that people don't talk about most is exactly what you just said. You know, if it's nice outside or you need to work out at 10 o'clock, you can do it without feeling guilty. And a lot of companies try and offer this flexibility, but they put the flexibility within certain premits. And it's like, is it really flexible?
We are a digital agency, but everyone has to be 9 to 5 in the office. And I'm like, mate, that's not digital. Like, if you make people be physically in space, that's not digital. Like, that is not digital. You are a normal agency that do digital projects. You're not a digital agency. So,
and also, people now, obviously, due to the 2020 crisis that has happened, have figured out how to work to the best of their schedule. So more and more people are going to actually be much more beneficial to a business if they allow that flexibility, but one with trust and not have that guilty aspect to it, which I'm so glad you've adopted and you're doing, and you're allowing the Good Egg to be like that, because that just shows that, you know, the mindset of you doing that means that you're gonna deliver for your clients. When you're at work, and you know you're focused, and if you need a timeout or whatever, you can do it. And I think that's the hidden gem of real flexibility.
Yeah, we are literally digital flexible. Like, that would be, if I had to choose 2 words to describe the Good Egg, well, 3: no fuss, flexibility, and digital. Those would be the 3 words.
I mean, that was 4, but you know.
I know, no fuss.
No fuss. We put a little hyphen on it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But listen, Nat, one of my final questions is, of course, how can people find out more about you? How can people, you know, get in touch with the Good Egg?
Yeah, so we are, we are very, very active on LinkedIn. I am very, very active, I would say. I was going to say like opinionated, but that has like a bad connotation, so I don't want to say that. So I am Natalia Cortazar. We can definitely type that later. On LinkedIn, so literally slide into my DMs, either on LinkedIn or on Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram as well. So I don't have Twitter. I don't have any other social media network. So LinkedIn and Instagram are my go-tos. And if you want to know more, I guess we can put our website on the description, I guess.
It will all be linked. Have no fear.
Exactly. So we can put everything there. And we are also taking new clients for 2021 because we've finished a few projects now.
Boom.
And we are getting also one more person to come to join the team. So it's very exciting. And we work mainly in the UK and Spain because I am bilingual, as obviously people would guess, being Spanish. So everyone's welcome to, at least, if you want to know more just because they are curious or they want to actually see what digital flexible agencies versus those agencies that they say they are, just look up, really.
Nat, listen, thank you so much for coming, and I really do look forward to seeing how you carry on growing the Good Egg and how you'll influence the world in a positive way. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you so much for inviting me and letting me have a tiny bit of space in the internet, as one would say, to talk about us.
You're always welcome. You're always welcome back. So thank you so much. Thanks everyone else for listening and watching. This has been Founders 365.